Many thanks for staying with us. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated the need for Africa and the Middle East to focus on policies that will deliver shared economic prosperity for all citizens. He disclosed this at the World Economic Forum in Amman, Jordan, where he also spoke on security and cooperation among sovereign nations. African affairs analyst Ademola Oshodi joins me now via Skype from here in Lagos to share his thoughts on this. Good to have you join me at this time. Ademola, this is the World Economic Forum at the moment. Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa and one of the fastest growing in the world. Where do you see regional and international cooperation helping us further boost our economy?
Well, thank you. We can't go. We can't do any harm to us for us to be in association with other nations. We have the Commonwealth, we have the African Union, we have the ECOWAS, and of course the United Nations. These cooperations can also, in many ways, enhance trade and security, which is what President Buhari is trying to speak about in international forums like this in Morocco. But the most important thing we're facing Nigeria, where this international cooperation can really make a difference, is in the areas of economy and security, Nigeria's biggest issues right now.
Now, Ademola, talking economy, the African free trade is still there. Nigeria is yet to sign that deal, and there are concerns that if Nigeria, being the giant of Africa, doesn't sign that deal, then it might not make so much progress. Not signing this deal and us talking about cooperation out there, how do you see the relationship?
Well, not signing the deal is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the road either. I believe the Nigerian government has basically weighed on the options and said, what is the benefit here for Nigeria? What is in our national interest, our economic interest? And I think that is really where it fits in. We are trying to determine where Nigeria will benefit from this. Most of Nigerian trade is actually with Western countries, Europe and the United States, Japan, and even India, if we could include that as our trade within Africa is very limited. So in many cases, it's probably more beneficial to other African countries, especially the West African countries, for us to trade, for them to have a free trade with Nigeria. I want to believe that the African free trade scheme will eventually come on board, but obviously with caveats, with what special provisions were made for Nigeria, because as it stands now, it may not be in our best interest. We may not gain as much as it is. We can talk about America and China and how President Trump believes that America is not getting it's not beneficial from the trade there. But we want to ensure that certain things like this don't happen in Nigeria and Africa. So it's best to
All right, and talking about security at this time, the president in his speech on Saturday mentioned that lack of social and economic inclusion is root cause of some issues of insecurity in the region, Africa, North Africa, and across there. Let's talk about how cooperation can actually help to resolve this matter and achieve global peace?
Well, like Africa and the Middle East have similar issues. They have issues of the extractive industry of oil and gas. Nigeria is a big oil and gas player. So is the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, and other parts of Iraq, Kuwait, and the rest of them. And so we have that issue with commodities, especially with the fall in oil prices. So that's a major concern. We also have issues of security. Nigeria is dealing with Boko Haram. The West African Sahel is dealing with, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and also the Tuaregs in Mali. We have Al-Shabaab in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia. We have, issues in Central Africa and Congo. And of course, we cannot forget issues of, the Middle East and ISIS and Libya, etc. So they have the same concerns. So it's a great time to come together and share notes and find how we can cooperate and ensure there's peace and stability in the regions, in Africa and Nigeria. Apart from oil and gas issues we all both share in the Middle East and Nigeria in particular, we also have issues of security. And this is a great forum for the president to lay out security plan and also ensure we get some tips and ideas on how, for instance, the Middle East is combating ISIS and combating issues of problems in Syria, the breakup of the country in Syria, and other parts of the Middle East, especially in Iraq and even in Pakistan. So this is a great time to actually speak of those two areas and see how we can move forward with it. And I think in the end of the day, the president will come out with a better plan, a better understanding of how these issues can be combated, especially the issues of diversification of the Nigerian economy away from oil and gas, which what the Middle East too was trying to do, especially Saudi Arabia and Iraq, Iran, and also Kuwait. So it's a great time for both regions to explore opportunities.
All right then, Ademola Oshodi, African Affairs Analyst, thank you most kindly for your thoughts.